short for a moment if I could just say, just, so, Mr. Robot, would you like to come up and
I'm an android.
Good evening, my name's Alex Kim.
You're watching Dissecting Track. So we open with the Enterprise encountering this ship with this guy on it, Okona.
The Star Trek equivalent of Han Solo, basically.
Yeah, he's like Han Solo Light or
But shit, yeah.
discount Han Solo.
Yeah.
A cheap $2 store Han Solo.
And thank you for beaming me here and enabling me to see a truly beautiful woman. You have the majestic carriage and loveliness that could surely be traced back to the noblest families.
He's a very like blatant, like, you know, that archetype, the rogue. They say rogue, and he's a rogue. He's a womanizer. He comes on
Is it
immediately.
not possible to be a rogue and not be a womanizer? Like,
I guess not.
because they always are.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's possible, but it is a big part of the archetype, I guess. And he comes on, and it's like, yeah, you know, he's full like that blatant and obvious archetype. He has no real character. And all the characters that they set up don't really have a character.
No.
So he immediately starts like smooth talking this fucking transport officer as a female, and the next scene is fucking her. And then, yeah, not much happens really.
She's like showing no interest in him at first, and all of a sudden she's fucking him.
So quickly. I think if they were more subtle with that character, like, we'd still get who he was if you were more subtle with it. It's so overt and obvious, like, he'd be less annoying.
Riker loved how fucking sexual he was.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah, someone else who wants to fuck as much as I do.
Yeah, and it's not even like all the women who want to fuck him. It's like Wesley's amazed by him.
Wesley's
Riker.
totally gay though.
Yeah, there was one weird line. I'll cut it in here.
He's a man who lives his life by his own rules. He does what he does by choice, by his choice. Someday you'll make yours.
I already have.
It came off a bit odd. Yeah, so not much happens with the main storyline for ages. He fucks a bunch of women, he's a rogue, everyone is amazed by him. The actor's fine, the actor does a good job. But
There's just nothing to the character though.
Yeah, and then the B storyline is data and comedy.
Yeah.
So
At least we've got Guinan in there though.
yeah, I mean, it's funny because Whoopi Goldberg and Brent Spiner are actually like comedians and actually really funny, and this script was not funny at all. You're a lover of puns and
There was a couple of
dad
good jokes
humor.
in there, like the one where Guinan says about what, you're the droid and I'm annoyed. I lost my shit when I saw that.
I was sitting there this whole episode.
He was like, meanwhile I'm just sitting there like,
laughing at the dad jokes.
Why? Because you're a droid and I'm annoyed.
But why?
Because that's what I am.
Have I said something to offend you?
No,
Then why are you annoyed?
because you're a droid and I'm annoyed.
Yeah, so he goes to the holodeck and there's this like comedian guy from fucking whenever. He's played by Joe Piscopo, who I know the name. He
looked familiar too.
He's an actual comedian. I don't know what he's been in, but he's been in stuff. You said you fell asleep during the episode, which is pretty funny because nothing fucking happens.
Yeah.
It's very boring. It's very slow. There's no tension or suspense.
And the funny thing is, when I woke up to it, I feel like I missed a fair bit, but I just knew exactly what happened, the way they were acting.
Yeah. So yeah, Data goes in the holodeck, and did you see the part where Joe Piscopo and Data were doing like the Jerry Lee Lewis stuff?
Yeah.
That made me ashamed to be a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
That was so
painful.
cringe.
What the fuck? I hated the Data doing that for every single line he was saying
Yeah,
as well.
with a cigar. And he had the like New Jersey accent.
Guy walks into the doctor's office. The doctor tells him you need an operation. The guy says, I want a second opinion. The doctor says, okay, you're ugly too, but oh, boom.
It was like, it's like I mean, I guess Jerry Lee Lewis was funny back in like the 50s or some shit, but like this, it was so bad.
It was cringe. It was straight up cringe.
Yeah.
Mr. Rowe, Mr. Rowe. Yeah, try if you would. We go. You do. Ha. No, you're so high.
So anyway, nothing happens with the rogue storyline, and then these two families rock up. It's like a Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly, except some people fucking dying.
Yeah, like Capulets versus Montagues thing. One of them wants him because he's stolen a thing. The other group want him because he knocked up this bimbo. And Picard's like,
Which should be totally believable.
Yeah, because he fucks everyone as soon as he gets there, including Riker and Wesley.
Hello there.
And Picard's like, I don't know what to do, and like I don't even fucking care. Like it puts up the moral conundrum, like what do I do? But I don't care about the rogue character.
And why do they even have to do it on the Enterprise either? Why can't they just fuck off and do it their own fucking way?
Like at this point in the narrative, I was so bored and uninvested. It was like, kill him, let him go, surrender him.
Just put them all out the airlock.
Save him. Like I'm not invested emotionally or
Which is a
anything.
first so far this season.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes are really good.
This episode was so bad that my Netflix library reset itself and put me back to Encounter at Farpoint after this episode was finished.
It's fucked with your Netflix.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there's a reveal that this rogue, Okona, he didn't steal a thing. He was going to give it to somebody. And he didn't knock up this broad. The son from one of the families has knocked up the broad.
All these just been smuggling them together and shit.
Yeah, it's like a clever subversion. I'm like, I was actually the good guy and was hiding it.
Inara's carrying my child.
Oh, you said it was Okona's.
All these characters they introduced, I fucking hate. They're fucking boring. The actors are fucking terrible. The dialogue is atrocious. I think they overdubbed the pregnant lady. And like, even the overdubbing, if it was overdubbing, was terribly acted. I cut it in here.
Since all of you believe Okona is the father of this child, then so be it.
And then we get to the reveal. I'm like, meh. And then there's one little nice part at the end with Data, which is sad, where
he comes to a realization.
Yeah, he's out there in front of the holodeck crowd, and he's doing his thing, and they're laughing at him, and he thinks he's fucking.
That's legit what he's doing the whole time.
Yeah, I guess it's an old like 50s.
I think it was supposed to be the punchline though, not like.
Yeah, they keep on saying "ba-boom sure" as well. It's like, I guess that's like, it's like 50s like jokes, right? That's like Jerry Lee Lewis, the tuxedos and the nightclubs. It's not like, good comedy.
Yeah,
like Carlin.
It's shocking actually. And I like bad jokes.
Yeah, comedy doesn't age well. Like you can go back and listen to bands from the 50s or watch movies from the 50s that are still excellent. But comedy, for some reason, it doesn't age as well.
I mean, it would have aged better if it was able to be more explicit.
Yeah, I mean, this episode was just bad in general. Like, it would have been bad in the 80s.
This episode didn't age well. Actually, it was shit to begin with. But.
Yeah, so there's one little nice moment where fucking Data thinks he's doing well with the crowd, and then he realizes that they're just laughing.
Yeah, because they laugh at a part which is like the middle of the joke.
Yeah, before he gets to the punchline. And it's sad, and that's it.
Yeah.
I was so ugly as a child, they hung a pork chop around my neck. So, the dog would play with me.
I guess that little joke part at the end, where he makes a joke and people laugh, and then he tries again and everybody ignores him, and then he just does the whole...
Yeah.
And continues on. Just...
There was a few humorous moments, even during the A plot. I don't know, they're trying to do a funny episode, but it wasn't funny.
That's sad. When something's supposed to be funny, it's not, it's just sad.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
If you fuck up like horror or action, it's like, ooh, that's bad. But when you fuck up humor, it's like, ooh.
When you fuck up horror and stuff, it ends up being funny.
Yeah.
But when you fuck up comedy, it's not funny. So weird.
Yeah, so fucking, I don't know. I don't have much else to say about the episode.
I honestly think in conclusion, it's just a shit episode that nothing really happened.
In conclusion, the A plot had some rogue guy who was like an archetype, but had no character still, which is pretty
They
incredible.
probably thought go with the archetype or whatever, and then they don't have to add a character, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And then there's Revelations, but I didn't care because I didn't care about any of those characters. The acting was bad, the dialogue was bad, the script was
Wasn't
bad.
enough for Card.
Yeah, and the B plot. I mean, I like Data and I like Brent Spiner and I like the whole Pinocchio thing, but
Not every episode with him is going to be a gem, though. Most of them.
yeah. What did you think of the Rover, Mark?
Oh, the movie The Rover you showed me last week. I'm like
Yeah.
jumping straight from Star Trek to that. I was like,
We are.
Was there
Welcome
a Rover
to
in this
Dissecting
episode?
2.
I fucking loved that. It was a really good movie. Like, surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Super sad.
Yeah, it is sad. Yeah, I'll put that up there with like Bronson and There Will Be Blood and Lighthouse. And
No, it was
Taxi
all
Driver
really well
and
executed.
Waking Up.
Like,
Yeah.
they captured the pacing was fantastic.
Mm.
Everything just
Lots of
worked.
tension, lots of suspense, lots of character moments. Dialogue was great. It's everything this episode was.
Robert Pattinson has just done an amazing job playing handicapped person.
Yeah, his portrayal. Like, there's scenes where he's just sitting there and he looks disabled.
Just the stare and everything that he
the
does.
face he pulls and his mannerisms.
In that
it's
end
like,
scene
what?
where he's doing that and he's looking away and shit
Yeah.
like doing these ones, that's so like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking violence always like comes out of left corner as well. We won't do spoilers. We'll just do a little talk.
There's no harm God won't see me come to.
God feels nothing for you. The only thing that means anything right now is that I'm here. And he's not.
Yeah, the violence, it always like surprises you and shocks you. It comes out of nowhere. And it's all really like slow and grindy, then the violence is like bang, 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 and then it's over. And there's heaps of moments you're like, whoa.
Plus, it's Australian too, like a post-apocalyptic Australian thing, which is always a refreshing change of pace when it comes to post-apocalypse.
And yeah, the director is Australian too, which is nice. It's not just like an American production. It's actually an Australian production.
You could tell with the actors too. Like, I mean, I didn't recognise any Australian actors, but they sounded Aussie. Like, not a fake Aussie accent, like legit Aussie.
Yeah, we got Wilfred's dad in there from Wilfred. I'll cut in the scene from Wilfred.
You didn't like Terry? Bit the cunt. You beat him? Yeah. I got an old towel out in the back garage I like to play wrestle with. Right. I'm not a young dog anymore, right? Right. Already lost one tooth. Got another one that's really sore. And I'm biting it, right? And Terry, he just fucking yanks it. And I'm like,
Into bed, Wilfred.
yeah, so I'm like, and yeah, bit him.
And Guy Pearce, who was fucking from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and a bunch of other fucking movies. And then Robert Pattinson. If you haven't seen The Rover, watch The Rover.
Definitely worth watching.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's seen it. I just randomly found it on Stan. And because of The Lighthouse, which is another Pattinson film, I'm like, I'll watch this.
There's not enough people talking about it.
It came out in like 2014. I did a review of Jasper that got like 38 views. It's like nobody knows or cares for this film, but it's amazing.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Alright, thank you and good night.
Good night.